I built my junk removal business to 1 million in gross sales my first year. I recently sold my business, but if you want to know what I would do if I were to get back into junk removal, how I would achieve 3 million in gross revenue per year, keep watching. I'm proud to announce that we have gone public for crowdfunding. So you're actually going to be buying shares in Autopilot. You can invest as low as 500 bucks. And if you invest within the first week, we have a 20% discount. So you get 20% more shares. You will also get 12 months free, which will more than pay for the $500 investment you make. So if you guys are interested, I will definitely make sure all of the links are in the video description. I will pin a comment, and if you have any questions, please ask. I am hosting a live virtual event again. If you missed the first one, we had 700 people live. It was incredible. We are finally going to be launching to the public October 26th. Louis Vandervolk of Blue Crocus Solutions is giving away another $5,000 website. Matt Fitch of Junk Blitz Pro is giving away a $5,000 website. I'm giving away a $10,000 dump trailer and many more things. Click the link in the video description to register for the live virtual event. As a side note, if you guys are interested in beta testing, check the video description down below. Beta testing will be going live this summer. If you don't know about Matt and JoJo's event, the Junk Expo, Matt and JoJo are hosting a in-person event in Sonoma County, California. There's gonna be a lot of speakers. I'm gonna be speaking, Xavier's gonna be speaking, Matt Fitch is gonna be speaking, Denise Sparks. An incredible speaker lineup is gonna be there. I know they are having some giveaways. It's gonna be the biggest junk removal expo on the West Coast. If you can't make Matt and JoJo's event, I hope to see you at my live virtual event for the public launch of Autopilot. I want to do something special for you guys. I'm really excited to be working with Levi, and I think this is gonna be an awesome experience for you guys. And you guys can watch it on Levi's channel here. Please go subscribe to him and follow the Jedi Junk Removal SEO Build in Public series. All right, guys, before we get into the video, I put a lot of work into the videos. I don't ask for much. The only thing I ask for is you comment down below right now what you want to see next. And if you don't know and you don't really care, just comment down junk removal millionaire. Put it for the YouTube algorithm. Before the video starts, comment right now. Go down there. I'm waiting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Comment something, anything. Just do a comment. Thank you very much, guys. Let's get into the video. Let's break this down into 3 parts real quick. We're gonna first talk about what I've achieved so you guys kind of know where I'm coming from, what level I got to. Then we're gonna talk about why I decided not to build it bigger, which I talk about in great detail in another video. I'll put a link to that video in the description, and also I'll put it up here on the screen in a minute. And then we're gonna talk about the third thing, what I would do, knowing what I know now, how would I achieve 3 million in gross revenue? Let's talk about what I've accomplished in junk removal. If you're new to the channel, please go check out all the other videos. I cover a lot of stuff in great detail, and I talk about how I hit 1 million in gross sales with 2 locations in my first year in junk removal from Google Ads alone. To kind of just recap quickly, because I don't want to go into too much detail here, because I want to talk about the how and what I would do different, knowing what I know. But I had 8 full-time employees, 2 call agents from the Philippines that I hired and trained, and they ran my entire dispatch and phone sales, customer service, everything. So I had 10 full-time employees. I had 2 trucks, 2 locations, an hour and a half apart from each other. So I lived over here. I got that location running full-time, 7 days a week, 4 full-time employees running that location. And then I moved to Los Angeles to launch a second location. And that location, I got up and running within the first month, strictly from Google Ads. Each truck pulls in about $500,000 a year on average. That is what they're able to bring in Los Angeles. It might differ in your market. Each truck might even only be able to pull in $400K a year or whatever. Some trucks can pull in like $30,000 a month. So $500,000 a year would be on average a $41,000 gross revenue month for that truck to hit $500,000. A bad month would be $30,000, and a phenomenal month would be $60,000 to $70,000. And yes, I've had one truck gross revenue, $70,000. To make it very simple for you guys, the more you scale, the more layers, the more employees, the more things you add to your business to scale, the more you delegate, naturally comes a lower profit margin. That is just business 101. I have tons of videos going over my margins, but if you wanna keep it simple, you make $1 million, you'll probably have $250,000 at the end of the year, 25% margins after paying everything out. besides taxes, okay? My second year, I also did over $1 million. And then by year 2 years and 4 months to be exact, I sold my business for $225,000. You see a lot of people say, you know, I run $1 million business or whatever, especially in junk removal. There's a couple people in the Facebook groups and on YouTube who say they run $1 million business. If we're actually gonna get technical, making $1 million in gross sales does not mean you're $1 million business. You did $1 million gross. In the home services world, when you sell your business, you sell at a multiple of your profit. Take my example, $250,000, 1x multiple of my profit is what I sold for, actually just slightly under, right? So we'll call it a 1x multiple. Now, why was it a 1x multiple? Is because I was in business for only 2 years. I hadn't even filed my second year of tax returns yet. And there's a lot of variables that go into it, but that's the biggest one is you're just a young business. So you're not going to get a high multiple. But the longer you're in business, the more tax returns you have and the more income you consistently show on tax returns, and you have the paperwork and just all the proof of how much money you made. The more years you're in business, you can get a 2x multiple, a 3x multiple. So technically speaking, when people say I run $1 million junk removal business, no, you're not. Your business is worth $250,000, $500,000, so on and so on. So I just wanted to kind of cover that situation. But doing $1 million in gross sales is a vanity number that we all like to try to hit, because yeah, you do $1 million in gross sales, it's cool. You got a lot of business coming in and then you make $250,000 profit, that's cool. But to be completely honest, guys, I was not a $1 million business, and that is why I sold for $250,000. You know, I am a technical guy, I'm a software engineer by trade, and that is how I was able to scale my business much faster. I'm also in Los Angeles, guys. If you expand to LA County, all of LA County, there is 11 million people. We have a lot of people out here, so it was easier to scale the Google ads. Google ads is pay to play, and you need to know what you're doing. With that being said, guys, what I have accomplished, built up a business for 2 years and 4 months. I made $250,000 the first year, $250,000 the second year, a little less because I had an operations manager. We'll talk about that later. Then also at the end of the second year, I sold it. So technically I made almost $500,000 in my second year in business. That is what I've accomplished. And from all of the things that I've learned and looking back, hindsight's 2020, what would I do differently and how would I achieve a $3 million business? And I'll talk about the $3 million number in a minute. Second, let's talk about why I decided not to build it bigger. Like I said, guys, I do have a video. I'm gonna put here again, why I quit junk removal, why I sold my business, but I'm going to give you the quick, short answer. My passion is software. In every video you've heard me say, I started a junk removal business as a stepping stone to return to my passion of technology and apps. That is true because I did want to scale this to become big, but it was a lot harder to scale than I thought. Operations is very difficult in this business, and it was impossible for me to, even with an operations manager, to run this business and own this business while simultaneously doing another startup. And also, I couldn't scale it, and we'll talk about why later. So that is number 2, guys, of why I just decided not to build it bigger. It is time to get into the juicy details of what I would do to build a $3 million junk removal business. And the reason why I picked 3 million is, honestly, it's a number that Alex Hormozi throws around, and I've seen it thrown around a couple times. Getting to 1 million with one product, one channel, one avatar is Alex Hormozi's famous saying. If you want to get to $1 million business, or you want to do $1 million in sales, or you want to do something very successful, focus on one product, one channel, one avatar. That's how you get to your first million. And then he goes on to say, getting to $1 million is technically, I don't want to use the word easy, but it is very doable, and it's doable for all of you as well. Like, you can get to $1 million in gross sales if you put in the work. I promise you, if you follow all my videos and you do everything I say, there's no reason you can't get to $1 million. There might be some reasons, credit, capital, how hard you work, how much risk you take, but point is, guys, it's doable. But here's the thing, when you go from 1 million to 3 million, a lot of things change from just scaling operationally, logistically. A lot of things become a lot harder because you can easily get to $1 million in a lot of businesses, but breaking that barrier of hitting 3 million, for some reason that gap from 1 to 3 is very hard. And then the same goes from 3 to 10. And then it's from 10 to 100. I have not broken that barrier. I am very proud and grateful of what I've accomplished. And I know there's quite a few other people who have gotten to $1 million in sales. Junk Doctors, I think he's got like a bunch of trucks and he's a $3 million business. That is impressive, especially without franchising. We're gonna talk about franchising later. And honestly, I don't want to devalue anybody who's hit $1 million in sales in business or be unappreciative of how hard it is to get to that number and how much work it is. But getting to $1 million is much easier than I think going from 1 to 3. And that is coming from somebody who wanted to take my $1 million in gross sales business to 3 million. Operationally, you can easily manage your 2 trucks in your city, in your home. It's frustrating. Junk removal is hard. Operationally, sometimes it can be a nightmare, and dealing with HR or employees, like business is hard. But when you need to do operations for multiple locations, it completely changes. That is the reason why I chose the number 3 million. It seems to be that is the next barrier to break through. You hit $1 million, cool. Come back to me when you hit 3. You are top G status. I never hit top G status, but I think I know what I would do to hit $3 million a year revenue status. How are we gonna make a $3 million business, and what would I do? I got some notes here and I'm gonna tell you what I would do. First things first, guys, why don't we just quickly reverse engineer $3 million? By reverse engineer, it means let's start at the $3 million level and just kind of go backwards to figure out what we need. So in your market, you need to figure out how much your truck can make running full time. Here is what I have as the game plan, as my Jedi junk removal takeover, and how I would do this. $500K a year per truck would be 6 trucks, but we're gonna be a little conservative and we're gonna do $400K because we're gonna be doing different locations, and I don't know how San Francisco, San Jose, and San Diego, what the average is gonna be out there, so we're gonna call it $400K. We're gonna take the $3 million gross revenue goal and we're going to divide by 400,000, and that's going to bring us to a whopping 7.5 trucks needed running full time. For this thought experiment, let's call it 7 trucks. We now know how many trucks we need. I'm already $1 million business. Okay, but we're gonna start from ground zero. I wanna tell you what I would do if I were to start over. We're gonna do 3 trucks in LA and Orange County. You can get 3 trucks for sure going because there's a population of 4 million. We could probably get 3 trucks running fully off Google Ads, but we're not gonna do that. We're starting over. That's a bad idea. So let's just say 1 in Ventura, 1 in San Diego, that's 5. Let's do 2 in Ventura, that's 6. Let's do 2 in San Diego, that is 7. Okay, so we have 7 trucks between Ventura, LA, and San Diego. Now, for safety, we might have to go all the way north and go to San Francisco, Sacramento, San Jose. I'd pick a city, but maybe we do 1 or 2 trucks up there if we cannot get 1 or 2 running in Ventura. Now, why? You need to do some population research. If you want that truck to survive in this competitive market and you really are trying to scale and build a $3 million revenue business, you need to really think about the cities that you're choosing. If you're choosing little cities where you only have 100,000 people in your small town, 60,000 people, and then you're willing to go this radius and you can only achieve 150,000 people, it's gonna be much harder to get that truck running full time. If you have the aspirations to build a $1 million, $3 million junk removal business per gross revenue, you need to think a little bit bigger. So San Diego is I'm guessing, I think around 1.5 million, and then surrounding areas like Encinitas and Temecula, I don't know, 1 to 2 million. LA, OC, we got 4 million. If we expand a little further, LA County, depending on how far we want to go, I mean, you got 11 million people in LA County. Ventura County is, give or take, 1.5 million. I'm gonna tell you something that I learned with this whole population thing. You can survive off any population depending on the type of marketing you do. I could probably get 3-4 trucks running if I hit all marketing channels. If I can bring enough business to get each truck running, there's probably enough people in LA alone for me to run 4 trucks. But the problem is, guys, here's the hard part of doing this, is each location, it takes time to get the leads consistent to where you have repeats, referrals, and consistent lead flow for even 1 truck. So how the fuck are you gonna do it for 2, 3, and 4? We're gonna have to pay for leads. Absolutely, that is the answer. That is the problem that most people struggle with, is they don't wanna pay for leads. You need to max out your Google ads. You need to max out Yelp ads, Facebook ads. We're gonna go into detail what I would do, But that is the honest answer, guys, is if you're going to scale this business, I need you to think about how each truck took you to get that truck running full time. Is it running full time to where, okay, you can get off that truck and go do the next truck, but you need to get each truck running operationally with consistent lead flow full time. And then you go launch the second truck, then you got to get the lead flow for that second truck. And we're gonna talk about franchising, guys, because this is what really pisses me off about franchising in this business. I'm not a believer of franchises. I don't think the franchise model works. I would never buy into a franchise unless it was 1-800-GOT-JUNK. But I see why me as Jedi would want to franchise my business and bring other people in, because operationally, guys, think about how hard it was to get one truck running. And then you want to go do another, and then another. And the biggest problem with our business is lead flow. And we're also having a problem now with oversupply, but the demand is staying the same. The awareness of junk removal is staying the same. I could argue you that if I went downstairs and talked to 10 people right now and asked if they've ever hired a junk removal company or know what junk removal is, I'm gonna probably say 8 out of 10 people are gonna say no. I actually wanted to make a video on that to go just kind of see how the market is responding to junk removal. But anyways, enough of the philosophy or junk removal or whatever. Let's get into the nitty gritty of what I would do. Sorry it took so long to get here, guys, but I wanted to kind of go over the whole reverse engineering it, figuring out how many trucks we got to do. If I were to start over, guys, let's number one talk about SEO. Here's the thing. There's SEO done the right way, there's SEO done the wrong way, and I guess there's just SEO in the fucking middle. You do okay. I would build out a 100-page website for each location. And you can do dynamic SEO too, where you programmatically generate these pages, and it would be like junk removal in Los Angeles, appliance removal in Los Angeles, appliance removal in Thousand Oaks, appliance removal and you can programmatically generate these pages, but that's a whole nother topic. Probably just best bet is to just make the pages manually and take your sweet ass time, or hire somebody from the Philippines to do this. And yes, you can build a website and rank just fine with somebody using Wix, WordPress, Duda, whatever. I recently discovered Duda from my friend Louis Vandervalk, who also runs a great marketing agency, by the way. Duda is awesome. I would do this even before I launch my location over there. So hear me out. Do it for LA. You should already have 100 to 200 pages, or as many pages as you can make for your current home city. So you would have JediJunkRemoval.com/appliance removal, and then you'd have to do appliance removal in Los Angeles, appliance removal in Long Beach, appliance removal. You get the idea. I would do the same for San Francisco or whatever, San Jose, wherever I decide to go. Let's say it's San Jose. I think there's a 1 to 1.5 million over there. So I would do JediJunkRemoval.com/San Jose. And then under the San Jose, I'd have all the little cities inside San Jose, and then junk removal in San Jose. And then I'd do appliance removal in San Jose, mattress removal in San Jose, and then also all of the little cities in between in San Jose that people might search. So at the end of the day, I would have this website broken down into the major cities. Of course, you know, I have Los Angeles, I'd have San Jose, and I'd have San Diego. And then I'd have 100 pages under the San Diego branch, 100 pages under the Los Angeles branch, and 100 pages under the Ventura County branch. You get the idea. Even if you don't serve those locations yet, but you know you plan to, start it now. Start ranking for it. What are you gonna, okay, fine, you start ranking for it and getting in phone calls. Oh, poor you, just subcontract them for now. The phone calls that you get from your Colorado location, sell the leads. Find a company temporarily that you like out in Colorado or San Jose. But the point is, it's very important you from day one, start your SEO serious. And by start, I mean build a website with 100 pages. Really brand yourself. Go shoot content and put photos of you on your website. Go shoot videos of you doing a trampoline removal, and then you make a trampoline removal page and you upload that video to your Jedi Junk Removal YouTube channel, trampoline removal in San Diego, and you put that YouTube video onto the trampoline removal page. I would expect if you plan on launching 3 locations in 3 different cities eventually, I want to see a website with 300 pages. I could probably get San Jose, Ventura, Los Angeles, and San Diego, all 4 branches, 100 pages under each branch for $2,000. We're talking like 400 or 500 pages, right? go copy my website, do the same shit over and over, and then your job would be to go change the text just a little bit or something, because you can't just use ChatGPT. I think Google's gonna start penalizing. I get annoyed when people respond to my ads that I post and it's some fucking ChatGPT response. I'm like, oh my God, it's so obvious you use ChatGPT. Talk to me like a human. Now, to start ranking, you can hire an SEO company. I guess this is a really good time to talk about two of my favorite people on YouTube who do SEO content, Jackie Chow, I don't know, here, and then my boy Levi here. I'm gonna be doing something very exciting with Levi soon, guys. I'm very excited to announce that. Go follow both of these people. If you go to Jackie Chow's channel, you can actually go search through his videos and just search local SEO. He has tons of videos on ranking local SEO, and he plays in the gray area, meaning he teaches you how to rank fast, and you're gonna be playing in the gray area. It's my favorite area, but you gotta be careful. You're gonna buy citations, backlinks, and you're gonna get guest posts. But you gotta do these carefully. You gotta do them properly, and you gotta buy quality ones. And yes, you can get quality ones on Fiverr.com. Do not believe all of the agencies out there that you spend a lot of money that tell you you cannot find good quality shit on there. You will find 90% bad shit, 10% quality good shit. Jackie Chow over here will tell you which ones are the good ones because he tests them, he ranks websites, and you can go buy citations, backlinks, and guest posts, and you can do your SEO for 200, 500 bucks, and you'll rank them. However, it's going to take research. It's going to take education, which is in one of my videos where I talk about if you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're going to build a $3 million business, you damn well better be willing to get your hands dirty and do this shit. When you start building and growing, that's when you start delegating. But in the beginning, you need to get in the dirt, not just the dirt, gravel, and concrete and trash, but the technical dirt. Can you do this yourself? Dude, it's easy. You can do this all yourself. It's just, are you willing to put in the time? Or go hire somebody from the Philippines and have them build your first location with 100 pages for 500, 600 bucks. I use this example because I've done it multiple times and it works fabulous. You just gotta pick the right person. You have to find somebody who builds quality stuff. It's not hard to find somebody who knows how to build a Duda site to do proper on-site SEO. Anyways, guys, that's the first thing I would do is I would grind at having a dope website. I know I talked about this for a long time now, but let's go on to the second thing that I would do. These are the prerequisites that I would do the prep work. The second thing is Google Maps, guys. This is obvious. It's now called Google Business Profile, so it's not even GMB anymore, it's GBP, but getting listed on Google Maps, Google Business Profile. And it is getting trickier. They are making it a little more difficult. They used to just send you a postcard and it was very easy. Now I'm seeing a lot of video verification. If you don't know how to get video verified, I will make a video on that. Comment down below, video verified. Getting listed on Google Maps, Google Business Profile is imperative. And it can also help you rank with local SEO, ranking in the map pack. And the map pack is when somebody types in junk removal Los Angeles, you're one of the first 3 results in the Google map pack. So you want to have your Google locations, I would say 2 locations minimum in each big city. But I would do in LA 3 or 4 because it's so big. But there are ways to get locations approved. There are ways around it. I will make a video on it. But for now, you can go to this video here where I talk about getting suspended. You can go reach out to the guy I talk about in that video. He can help you get listings approved. But anyways, you want to get multiple listings. I have 4 Jedi Junk Removal locations, and I don't care if they're service areas at first or they're pins on the map. What that means is one is a service area. You know, you type in junk removal and it shows businesses and it shows a red little polygons of the service area that you cover. A pin on the map is where you have an actual physical location. Google thinks you have a physical location. Everybody likes to trick Google that they have a physical location. There's ways to do that, but it's 100% doable to get all pins on the map. If you guys want that video, comment down below, pins on the map. Since we are attacking 4 different cities, San Jose, Ventura, LA, San Diego, I would want 4 in LA, 2 in San Diego, 2 in Ventura, and 2 in San Jose. That is 10 locations. I would have 10 locations out of the gate. Can you do this? Absolutely. You can get approved for 10 locations. You're allowed to do services in 10 locations. My one quick trick for you though is do all service areas first. So you do a service area over here, a service area over here, and then you can adjust later and get pins on the map. Save that for another video. But it is very important that I have all my locations prepped. Now we have SEO running. We bought some citations, we bought some backlinks, we bought some guest posts. We're gonna start ranking for every single location, no matter what, in just a few months, okay? It's gonna happen, especially if you have a good website and you've got some good quality content, you've got the 100 pages, you're going to start ranking. You start recording every job too, you start uploading those to your YouTube channel, then you put the videos from your YouTube channel onto your website. One day you do a clean out video and then you upload it to your YouTube channel, you put that clean out video onto the clean out page, yada, 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 yada. You get the idea. If you lay the foundation like this from the get-go, you are going to be light years ahead of everybody else. And we haven't even talked about offline marketing yet. But that is number 2, guys. Google Maps. This is the prep work that I would be doing. Number 3 is I would take my last video that I talked about here, the secrets to getting apartment complexes. I talk about scraping in that video in special software. I would buy that special software and I would scrape the shit out of it. I would either hire the company I talk about or I would buy the special software and run it myself. Me personally, I would do it myself because I know how to do it and it's not that hard. If you just buy my course and check out my course, I teach you how to do it in there. But I would scrape every apartment complex in the current city that I'm in. Los Angeles and Ventura, right? Whatever, those are the first 2 locations. I would scrape every single property manager, apartment complex, storage unit, assisted living facility, real estate agents, real estate offices. With this software, I would be at 20,000 leads. You know, there's easily 5,000 apartment complexes here. There's easily thousands of storage units. You get the idea, guys. And I would start my aggressive scraping marketing email campaign from day 1. I would send out 1,500 emails a month. And then obviously when you put them on an automation, it follows up with them every 2 weeks. But I'm sending out a brand new 1,500 every month. And I would do this so aggressively that it would be literally impossible to not succeed. Also, guys, I need you to keep in mind, but I'd have VAs. I talk about it in how I set up a call center here, and that is game changing, guys. It will change your life having somebody help you with dispatch and sales and take over your phones. But anyways, that is the 3rd thing I would do is I would go ham on the scraping and cold email outreach to commercial businesses. Facebook ads goes without saying, you are gonna need a VA to nurture the leads, but Facebook ads is going to be your best bang for buck in cost per lead being the lowest, and then the return eventually being great. But it does take time to convert Facebook leads, but they eventually convert. So you spend $1,000 this month, you might get them later, the next month or 2 months later. And then you spend $1,000 the following month, the previous month converts, so on and so on and so on and so on. It eventually starts to stack and compound. I talk about Facebook ads and Google ads a lot. There's no reason to talk about it in this video too much, but Facebook ads for sure, because it's low barrier of entry, low cost. You can set it at $500 a day and still get phenomenal results. So I would start with Facebook ads from day 1. However, there is a little bit of a learning curve. It's not that hard. I talk about it in plenty of videos. I think I talk about Facebook ads in this video here. You don't need to break the bank because Google ads are expensive, but you are gonna need to run Google ads to scale. You are not gonna build a $3 million business without Google ads. However, it's possible. In time, with the SEO techniques that I'm giving right now and Google Maps and then scraping with commercial leads, it might be possible in time, but most likely you are gonna need to run Google ads, Bing ads, Yelp ads, Thumbtack. You're gonna need all the sources. That is the prep work that I would do initially. Let's talk about operations. This is the hard part. You have 1 truck or you have 2 trucks running. You have enough leads for 2 trucks. That's what I was doing. It was kind of hard because one location was an hour and a half away, 2 hours with bad traffic. And up in Ventura, then we have the location here in LA and everything's candy dandy. You're running 2 locations, you're running 2 trucks. Maybe you get enough leads to run 2 trucks, but we have to get to 7 trucks, guys. I want you to really process this. When you need to start buying new trucks, you have to buy good trucks because you want consistency for your employees. You don't want them breaking down. So this is where credit comes into play. This is where you need capital to launch each new location. With all the marketing techniques I've given, you should be able to get to 2 trucks. You should be able to get to $1 million, okay? 3 trucks maybe, but if your population is not big enough, you gotta go outside to the next city. And this is where things get difficult, guys. How do you launch another location? You need good credit, you need capital, you have to go get the tools, you have to buy the 500 yard signs, you have to get the marketing materials, you have to get the uniforms, you have to get everything for all these employees. you're going to spend, call it 10, 15 grand. You're gonna put 20 grand down on a new Isuzu or a slightly used Isuzu, so you're in 40 grand. This is the proper way to launch a new location if you anticipate that you need this new location to run full time. Are you gonna go to this city and drive the truck and your family's over here? No, unless you're willing to go to the new location and be the one on the truck and slowly grow it. I'm assuming you want to get the new location running as fast as possible. That's why we've done all the prep work for SEO. That's why we've done the Google Maps prep work. That's why we've done the commercial scraping prep work. But now it's time to turn on the gears on the other advertising streams of Google ads, Facebook ads, Yelp ads. Think about the logistics of running operations in a new location to get that new location running. You're hoping that the lead sources bring you enough ads. You're hoping that your CAC to LTV ratio is good so that you're not actually losing money. It's a very hard thing to launch a new location. The only way to, in my mind, to get that to work is to do what we talked about, the prep SEO, the prep Google Maps, the prep scraping with commercial leads, and then Facebook advertising, and then you have to be good with Google ads. So I would turn on Facebook ads and Google ads in that new location and really start trying to get as many leads as possible on that new location. You understand how hard it is to already launch one location. So keeping that in mind, if I were to do this again, what I would do if I were to go to my next location, let's call it San Jose, Ventura and LA are close enough. Get as many trucks local as you can, close to you. How many trucks can you realistically get running in your area? How much lead flow can you bring to get as many trucks running in your area? Then you go to the immediate next biggest city, and then you just keep doing this, but to where the cities are somewhat reasonable, where you can drive if possible. But let's say it's now time to go launch a location where you have to fly. So what I would do is I would fly to the new location. I would have to stay there for a couple weeks, and the goal would be to find the best lead employee that you can. So you would have to do interviews and get the best team that you could. I'd start with 2 employees, and then the lead employee, I'd let them know and lead them to believe if things go well in this area, give it 3 to 6 months, and the lead flow is consistent, you're gonna become more of a team lead or closer to an operations manager. I would let him believe there is massive opportunity and growth as soon as we get this location running and we get to the second truck, and then you could become more of an ops manager and you would be running this location. That would be my first step. And this is the problem, guys, with running a new operation. It took me a year with Google ads, even with just Google ads, which is a button you click and leads come in. It still took me a year to get to the operations of my 2 locations. And then by the end of the first year, I had my second truck running. It took all of my time, energy to get 2 locations running. So think about launching all the 7 locations. You can't just go over here and click a button and magically this new location pops up, and you start to realize why people are franchising. Now, it's not to say that it's not possible. So we're gonna continue on with what I would do. Now, you're gonna go to this new location, you're gonna tell this new team lead, like, hey, it might not be as consistent as possible. It might be part-time in the beginning. I don't know how many leads we're gonna have in the beginning, but we are gonna run Facebook, Yelp, Thumbtack, Google, all of this stuff. You're gonna already have your VAs in place. I would have already had my VAs in place, my call center, so I'd have another VA to handle the calls up here, and then also the messages, because we're gonna have Thumbtack messages, Facebook messages, and Yelp messages. I'm gonna have my VA handle all of the messages. We're also gonna have Google ads running, of course. The whole reason you have to use all of these ad sources is a truck does not have full-time consistent lead flow to give full-time hours to 2 employees immediately out of the gate. How do you combat that? Well, there is a way: capital and credit. It will work, but it's going to eat you up in the beginning until things get rolling and you get profitable, and that is running all of the ad sources, running them all properly, of course, in order to get that truck running right away. Because if you fly out there and you stay out here for a couple weeks to get this truck going, you get all the tools, the signs, the marketing materials, the uniforms, the truck. You're not gonna be able to stay out here forever unless you're a single male. You could stay out here for a while, but the thing is most of us probably have families or whatever where you can't just go to a new location and stay out there for 3 to 6 months and get that new location running. So we have to take a chance. And this is where operational skills are going to come into play with how fast and how good you did it down here. You take your knowledge from down here, you go do it up here. You know how to hire, you know how to fire, you know everything you need. You know, have your systems in place, you have your call center in place, you know how to run your ads down here, so you know how to just duplicate your ads up here. You're already doing SEO over here, so your website and SEO is already ready up here. Your Google Maps locations is already ready. All that stuff's ready. So now you just need lead flow. Lead flow is the most difficult part of this business, especially because we don't get lead flow where they are consistent and repeat customers. We're in a different type of business. That would be my goal though. If you have 100K in the bank, you can launch a new location. You go put 10K into marketing, materials and uniforms and equipment, and then 10K, 20K down on the truck, bada boom. And then you have the bankroll to run all of the ad platforms for this new location. And then you just continue to do this after one location. If you do it right, yes, you can throw massive lead flow from paying for leads. You can throw tons of leads, and it's gonna be expensive at first, and you should theoretically, you should profit at the end of the month from all the leads. If you have things running properly and running smoothly and you know what you're doing and you're on top of your messages, you're on top of your phone calls. Like I said, you know what you're doing. You have already ran Google ads down here, you have ran Yelp, you have experimented, you have done Thumbtack, you know, master all of the ad platforms. Get a VA to help you manage the message leads. And that's the solution. This is a skill that you will have acquired from running 2 locations in your hometown or whatever. And that's why most people franchise. To wrap up, what I would do to build a $3 million company, to wrap it all up and put a fucking little bow on it, is I would get as many trucks running local as I can. You need to determine with your population. In LA, if I were to max out all of my lead sources, I think the most you can on average probably spend with Google before your search volume is maxed out is $1,500 a day, which is kind of crazy to think. You know, I was spending 500, 700 a day, sometimes less, you know, just depends on the day. But that was on average, you know, 500-ish a day. So I did attempt to launch a 3rd truck. I did have another dump truck and I attempted it, but I sold that truck because it kept causing me too many problems. I wanted to finance another truck. So I increased my ad spend for a week or so with that truck to $1,500 a day. I even tried $2,000 a day because I just wanted to see how many leads I could. I was like, if I get overflowed on leads, that's fine with me for a week or two. I'll have 3 trucks running. Ventura, worst case, could help out and come down to LA. So I was capped out. Surprisingly, it wouldn't hit $2,000 a day in Los Angeles, which is kind of crazy to think. This area that I selected, LA County, is 11 million, but in the bubble that I was serving was probably 3 to 4 million people, meaning Google has its limits even in LA of search volume of people willing to search. So I couldn't get another truck, couldn't get approved for financing, and that is because credit limits. So what I would have done is max out as many trucks as my home as I can. Let's say 4 is all I can get running. Then I would go do what we just talked about, go fly to a location for a couple weeks, call it San Diego. Well, actually, San Diego would be a great one because that's another giant city that's driving distance. So San Diego would have been one. And then San Jose, San Francisco, Sacramento area, I'd have to fly to. So I'd probably go out there for a couple weeks at a time, get the team lead going, maybe even be on the truck for those 2 weeks and really try to get that truck, that new location going, and just go ham at that new location and really try to find a good team lead. This really is going to be the hardest part, is finding somebody to believe in your vision of you launching a new company and letting him know that he will be the lead once it starts to pick up. And you could find people like that who believe in you and are willing to put in that extra work because they are going to be taking the keys to the kingdom of that location. They will be the ops manager eventually. And you try to get 2 trucks running in that location so that he can kind of run that area for you. And then I would do the same thing, fly to Denver, rinse and repeat. That is what I would do. I hope that helps. I know it's a 10,000 foot bird's eye view of high level how I would do it. But with that being said, do you guys see why everybody franchises? We're gonna talk about franchises. I have a lot to say about franchises. It is very hard to scale and operate this kind of business outside of your hometown, because this is a hands-on business. And if you're not there to start this new location, it's gonna be hard initially, and especially because in this business, what the biggest problem in this business is lead flow. And we kind of have a problem with a lot of competition coming in, a lot of new supply, but the demand is staying the same. That is the biggest problem. I hate to say it, all of us YouTubers are creating more supply and the demand is staying the same. If I were to go downstairs and ask 10 people, have you heard of junk removal? I can almost certainly guarantee you, probably 90% of them have not hired a junk removal company, which just means the awareness of junk removal is not going up. How do you combat it? You gotta max out. You gotta become a beast. I'm not saying you can't win. You can absolutely still win in this game. You just need to max out lead sources and you gotta put in more groundwork and sales. So if that's the biggest problem, let's talk about franchising real quick, because franchising to me really bothers me in this business. Why are you buying a franchise? Yes, you get the operations manual, the SOPs, standard operating procedures, the framework to running a business. You get all of their resources and their connections, absolutely. But what do you guaranteed get? Lead flow. When you get a Subway, you fucking get Subway customers, McDonald's customers, Chick-fil-A customers. It's almost guaranteed lead flow. Their brand guarantees you income. These junk removal franchises, you do not get any lead flow. None, zero, unless you sign up with the only franchise that I can stand by is Got Junk. Got Junk, almost 40 years ago, capitalized on the Got Milk campaign. Got Junk, Got Milk, and he's been around for 40 freaking years almost, has hundreds of trucks all over the nation, and when anybody knows anything about junk removal, it's Got Junk, and he's built the biggest company there is. And you're not gonna beat them in SEO because they have 600,000 backlinks. They're everywhere. They're gonna always get free leads and bring you free leads. And then it's on you on the slow time, you know, to do the extra marketing efforts to get busy and make more money, but you do get free leads. And I'm sorry if any of my friends out there are franchise owners and you guys have franchises. I know you guys as franchisors are trying to do the best that you can to grow your company. And I know the franchisors think they're doing the right thing. They're giving you the blueprint, the framework, the foundation, the resources, the connections, the mentorship. Let's be honest, okay guys? The hardest thing in this business is going to be lead flow. You can learn to run a business. Running a business is a learned skill. You do not need an ops manual to teach you how to hire an employee. You do not need an ops manual to teach you about HR and that, you know, you gotta do this, that, this and that to fire and hire correctly. We all make mistakes and you could figure this all out. It's all on the internet. Every single YouTube channel teaches you how to run a junk removal business. Very simple. If you're going to buy into a franchise, I expect guaranteed lead flow. There is nothing proprietary or secret about junk removal. There is no framework that you need. There is no nothing that you need. Get to fucking work. You'll figure it out. It is that simple, guys. These franchises, you buy in at $20,000 to $100,000 and then you get no leads and you're still expected to do all the work. Operations is not the hard part in the beginning. It gets harder as you scale, hiring, firing, automating things, building out a call center, getting off the phones, tracking your numbers, doing your bookkeeping, but you also have to handle the lead flow. They don't do jack shit for lead flow. And that's the whole beauty of franchising for the franchisors is they realize how hard it is operationally. So the next best solution is this guy buys in, they make a quick $100,000, and then they'll also charge you, and they're making money to run their ads and run your SEO, some of these people will do. And then on top of that, you're paying 7 to 12% franchise fees every single fucking month. There's no brand names in junk removal. There's no brands. You know, you build your brand in LA, but that's not going to help Jedi Junk Removal over in these other states if I were to start a franchise. I could hand them all of the tools and resources in the world, but they'd be doing the same fucking shit without me. Okay, I give them a framework to follow. Shit's on YouTube. Guys, do not spend 100 grand and waste your money on a franchise because you're gonna be doing the same shit and they're not gonna bring you any leads. If you need a mentor, comment down below, mentor. I'm not trying to talk shit because I know the franchisors are just doing their best of what they think they can do to scale their business. They honestly probably think they're giving you the best framework, and they're doing what they really truly believe. They probably really believe they're helping you. They've been in business for 3, 5 years, and they know all the secrets, and they can tell you how to run your business. They can tell you when to scrap, when to recycle, how to scale, how to operate, how to calculate your CAC and LTV and your average job size and your profit margins and your COGS, your cost of goods sold, and all of this framework, foundational stuff that is important. They probably truly believe they're doing you a solid, but it's not worth $100,000 to buy into a franchise to learn this stuff. Take the 100 grand and start your own business. Now, if there was a franchise out there that would bring you lead flow, so Got Junk, I don't even think Junk King would bring you that. Maybe they'll bring you some leads, but it's nowhere near. College Hunks, no, nobody knows who College Hunks is, okay? Point is, guys, if you're gonna buy into a franchise, I know Got Junk's the most expensive. I think it's somewhere between 200 and 400,000. I think that includes the truck. I don't know, but anyways, this isn't about the Got Junk franchise. They would be more worth it because you're more guaranteed to like make your money back, and then all the advertising you do on top is all on you. I'm not trying to bash the franchisors, and if anybody is watching my videos and you are one of those franchisors, I don't mean this in a negative way. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to be real to my YouTube audience. And that's what I do, guys. I come at you with my advice, my knowledge, and things do not have to be done my way. I do not know everything, so I could be wrong. So anybody out there who's offended by me talking crap about franchises, this is just my thoughts, my experiences of me running a junk removal business. I also want you to know that trying to build a $3 million business, you don't necessarily have to do it the way I did it. This is just what I would do. And one of the really cool things about business, and I'm gonna end it on this note, Tony Robbins said something really cool, that building a business is actually technically a spiritual journey. You're taking something from your mind, something invisible, and making it visible. So taking something that doesn't exist and making it exist. If you think about it, you have all these ideas in your mind and you put it together. You build a machine, you get a physical truck, you brand, people around the city start to see you, you have consistent lead flow, you build an operation, and now it's this well-running machine that you have built. You have taken the invisible and you have made it visible. It's really cool that he says that, because there are many ways to take the invisible and make it visible. My way is not the only way. I could be wrong, I could be right. Many great people before us that are wizards and smart as hell have laid the foundation for us. They have made blueprints, they have made paths, they have wrote books. There is a lot of paths that tell you how to do it because they have proven it, and I have lived one of those paths, but it's not the only way. I just want you to keep in mind that is how I would probably approach this $3 million revenue business if I were to try to start over and build the $3 million business, gross $3 million, by owning each location, not franchising. Franchising was an option that I was looking into, but I opted to not franchise for the exact thing I told you. I weighed out a lot of different things that I was gonna do, and one of the ideas that I was leaning on the most was kind of like similar to a franchising model, but there's no franchise fees. It's more so you can use my brand name, and you would call this more of a licensing deal. I'm just gonna end it with this, guys. My path is not the only path of building this $3 million business, and you are on your own journey, and I hope this video helps, guys. And if you liked this video and you liked what I had to say, please, the only thing I ask of you guys is to comment down below, say something down below of what you want in the next video, any questions you have. And if you don't know what to say and you don't have anything to say, just comment down below, Junk Removal Millionaire, because I know you guys can do it. And as always, I leave you guys with this: success is often covered in dirt, but so is gold at one point. Toodles. Whoopsh.